Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is heating and cooling and the effects of seasons. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. Remember, sanitizing is not the only way we can stay safe from any germs. We can use soap and water. Just make sure that you run your hands under the tap for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be talking about phonics, division, and problem solving. Let's start today's lesson, boys and girls, by going to page 20. On page 20, we are going to be doing the phonic sound air. Everybody, let's say air. Well done. Now today, I have 3 different ways to say air. We have the air that has A, I, and R in the middle. And then we have the other air where we have A, R, E in the middle. The last type of air that we have is when we have E, A, and R in the middle. Today it's going to be our job to help the pirate, Peter, find his rhyming treasure. We're going to read and color the words by their flag color. So let's take a look at the board to see the different colors for the different airs. Now, if the word is spelled A-I-R, the air, we are going to be using blue. If it is spelled A-R-E, we are going to be using red. And then if it is spelled E-A-R, we are going to be using green. Now I have some examples on the board and I want us to try and do them together. Remember, the instruction says read and color. So let's take a look. We have the word, let's read together, pear, share, swear, pear, flare, and snare. Well done, everyone. So this is so easy, and I think I can leave it up to you. Make sure you take your time, look carefully at the different air sounds, and color them correctly. So try to read them before you color them and after you color them. Then try and use them in sentences as well when you are speaking. I'll see you when you're done. after the advert break.
Follow us on My Zone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Let's continue our lesson, boys and girls, on page 21. On page 21, we are going to be doing computations. Today, it's all about division. Now remember, when we are dividing, we are just simply doing repeated subtraction. For us to get our answer, we are going to have to continuously subtract until we get the last answer. So, let's begin by trying to do B by ourselves. They've already given us A, but I want to show you how they got A by doing B. Let's take a look at the board. Now, remember, we said that division is just repeated subtraction. Our sum says 24 divided by 4. In order for us to find what it equals, we need to do repeated subtraction. And how do we do that? Instead of saying 24 divided by 4, we will write 24 minus 4. Now, if we take away 4 from 24, we know that our answer is 20. So let's go ahead and write our answer. But we are not done. We will take that same answer, which is 20, and use it to form the next part of our sum, which is 20 minus 4. The only thing that has changed is now we have taken our answer and used it to subtract 4, because division is repeated subtraction. Now 20 take away 4, boys and girls, we know is 16. So we write our answer 16, and then we're going to take our answer and put it for the next stage of our sum. We now say 16 minus 4. Now some of you might be asking, teacher, why are we saying minus 4 minus 4? That's because, remember, division is repeated subtraction. So we have to subtract 4 every time for this sum. If it was the number 3, we would have to say 3, 3, 3, and 3. But it's not 3, it is 4. So we go ahead with our sum. We say 16 minus 4. And 16, when we take away 4, is 12. Then we take our 12, we write it for the next stage of our sum, and we say 12 minus 4. 12 minus 4. Yes, well done. We have 8. So we take our 8 after writing it and put it for the next stage of our sum, and we say 8 minus 4. Now remember, we have to get to 0, so we're going to continue. 8 minus 4 equals 4. And then we take our 4 and we say 4 take away 4. And our answer, boys and girls, would be 0. So now that we have gotten all the way to 0, it's now time to count how many times we actually needed to subtract to get our answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means if we say 24 divided by 4, it will equal 6, because it took us 6 times to subtract. Don't forget, division is repeated subtraction. So go ahead, boys and girls, make sure you get up to 0. You will always subtract 4, and whatever answer you get, you put it for the next stage of your subtraction. When you're done with that page, which I'm sure you'll take your time, you can move on to the next page, page 22. On page 22, we are now going to be moving on to problem-solving sums. Today, we are going to do number 5 together. I chose number 5 because there are certain things we now need to do apart from just choosing whether we are adding or subtracting, dividing or multiplying. So let's take a look and see what we have to do. It says, Sue lives in the city. She drives 25 kilometers to a village in a day. When she comes back to the city, she has to drive the same distance. Sue travels back and forth for 4 days. How many kilometers has she traveled? Now, there are quite a few numbers we have been given. We have been given the number 25, we have been given the number 4, and we have been told that she does this back and forth, which means twice. So, the first thing you have to understand is that the 25 kilometers is not going to stay 25. In a day, she travels 25. But when she comes back to the city, she travels the same distance. So in one whole day, going and coming back, she drives 25 plus 25. So that's the first part of our sum. And then the next part of our sum, boys and girls, is now finding out what 25 plus 25 is in 4 days. So let's try and do the first part and then the second part together. Let's take a look at the board. Now, we have been given 25. So we say 25 times 2 to find out how much or what she travels in one whole day. Because remember, it's 25 going and 25 coming back. So we start by saying 5 times 2. 5 times 2, boys and girls, is 10. So we write our 0 because there's not enough space for 2 digits. We write our 0 and then we carry the 1 to be added later. Then we move on and say 2 times 2. 2 times 2, boys and girls, we already know is 4. But we have this plus 1 there. So it's 4 plus 1, which makes it 5. So we now know that in 2 days, in 1 day, she would have traveled 5 kilometers. But that's not all. We are not yet done because we've only done for 1 day. And we are told that she does this for how many days? 4 days. Now we could say 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50. But that will take too long. So instead of repeated addition, we are just going to multiply. Our sum is going to say 50 times, let me write it higher so that you have space to see it, 50 times 4 for the 4 days that we were given. That is our sum. So let's start by saying 0 times 4. Now remember, boys and girls, 0 times anything will be 0. And then we move on. 5 times 4. Now 5 times 4, boys and girls, is, yes, 5 times 4, boys and girls, is 20. So go ahead and write your 2 under the X. or under the times, and then your 0 in line with your 5. So that means our total boys and girls will be 200, but not just 200, 200 kilometers. So we can complete our statement by saying, Sue has traveled 200 kilometers. Go ahead and do the sums, boys and girls. Try and do it by yourselves, but if you don't understand the question, keep reading it. Use the numbers you've been given. I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 10 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson, but I hope you had fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or how to do it, that's okay. You can ask an adult for help. Please make sure that you finish your work though by yourself. So now that we're done with our work, we need to sanitize. Remember, sanitizing is very important, especially during these times. Make sure that you sanitize as regularly as possible. Keep your mask on at school as well. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. I wonder, I haven't seen Sashi today. Oh, there you are. I saw you. So, from Sashi and I would like to say thank you so much for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.